Hello, and welcome back to Coffee Chat with DukeRAP. My name is Amanda Kumar, and I'm a regional anesthesiologist at Duke. I am so excited to welcome Dr. Melody Herman today. Melody graduated from the St. Louis University School of Medicine and completed her residency in anesthesiology at St. Luke's Roosevelt. She then completed her regional anesthesia and acute pain medicine fellowship at MGH. She currently works with Scope Anesthesia in Charlotte, North Carolina at Atrium Health Carolinas Medical Center and has been doing some really cool, innovative stuff on social media to educate our anesthesia community. Melody, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so happy to be here.
Well, we're going to kick things off with our speed round, which is a few fun, non-medical questions to get to know you a little bit better. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. Where are you from?
Charlotte, North Carolina.
If you couldn't be an anesthesiologist, what would you do instead?
Travel writer.
Where is your favorite place in the world?
That's a tough one. I'll go with Asheville, North Carolina, because I could see myself retiring there.
You have your own late night talk show. Who do you invite as your first guest?
Dolly Parton. She has such an interesting life story and just seems truly like a very kind person.
You have to sing karaoke. What song do you pick?
I Want to Dance with Somebody, Whitney Houston.
What's your favorite TV show?
Currently, it's Alone on Netflix. It's a survivalist show. It's really awesome.
What is the weirdest food you've ever eaten?
Fermented tofu. It tastes like blue cheese.
Tell me something on your bucket list.
Travel to Antarctica.
What is your favorite kitchen appliance?
I would have to say our knife set. You got to have a good knife to cook.
And lastly, what's the best piece of advice you've ever been given?
This was actually from a regional anesthesiologist that trained me in residency. He said the enemy of good is better. And I think that's held true in life for me.
Totally agree. Well, thank you, Melody, for letting us get to know you a little bit better. Well,
thank you.
You know, I've been a huge fan of your TikTok videos. For those who haven't yet seen Melody online, she creates and posts these short videos about nerve block procedures. And the videos are educational and they highlight the relevant sonoanatomy necessary for regional anesthesia. So firstly, how did you come up with the idea to create these TikTok videos?
So it all sort of began in spring of 2020 when the pandemic first hit. I was doing outpatient anesthesia primarily, and then of course all of the elective procedures were put on hold. So all of a sudden I went from being very busy to suddenly having all of this free time. And a really good friend of mine that's an obstetric anesthesiologist, Sonia, she joined TikTok and was getting this following for OB anesthesia content. And she's like, hey, you got to do this with me. And I was like, okay. So I downloaded the app and as a joke and started, making things. And it sort of took on a life of its own from there. And then concurrent with that, on Twitter during Blocktober, I saw, I think Jeff post some content and then people posting more Blocktober type videos, images, things like that. And I thought, oh, well, why don't I cross-post some of my TikTok sonoanatomy videos on Twitter? And then that took on its own life, and Azure started retweeting them, which was just so awesome. So that's how it kind of all began.
That's awesome. It's super fortuitous. So we're the lucky ones. So I guess what audience do you hope to reach with these videos?
So I sort of have two pathways. So I've got my TikTok audience and then my Twitter audience. So for TikTok, most of these folks are not medical or healthcare people. They're just, folks that happen to be on TikTok. And so my target audience there is just teaching the public about regional anesthesia. People seem to be very familiar with spinals and epidurals because it's so common in obstetrics, but most patients don't know what a nerve block is unless they have perhaps had one. So really patient education, what is a nerve block? If you're having a surgery, can you Can you get a nerve block? What are the benefits of it? Is it safe? Things like that. And then for the Twitter crowd, I've been doing sonoanatomy videos, getting kind of into the more technical. This is XYZ block. This is how I do it. And that's all condensed into like a 15, 30-second time interval. So it's not all you need to know about a block, but it's just like a little tidbit.
That's awesome. I know that I've personally found these videos super relevant as a regional anesthesiologist. And I imagine that especially for trainees, just getting a little refresher or a little kind of teaser of what the nerve block is about is awesome. And I love that you're using your online presence to reach out and educate patients as well.
Thank you.
So what has the feedback been so far on your social media outreach?
It's been overwhelmingly positive. Twitter has been amazing. I honestly, prior to 2020, I didn't know that there was such this vibrant community of regional anesthesia experts on Twitter that I've learned a tremendous amount from over these last few months, and I'm also happy to contribute to. That's been awesome. TikTok has been great too. I've virtually met some other medical creators. It's a fun platform, not quite as serious as Twitter, but it's fun. I will say when you create on TikTok and you reach a certain level of viewership and something goes viral, you are going to get trolled. And my very favorite one was, I did just a little like 15-second one on, hey, if you add bicarb to lidocaine for a subcutaneous injection, it'll decrease or eliminate the burning sensation that lidocaine is commonly associated with lidocaine. And I got trolled for it. And I was just so bewildered, like, oh my goodness, there's a lidocaine troll out there, so watch out.
Very
but it's
controversial.
But it's been still a very positive experience.
That's awesome. It's been really fun to see all these videos come out. And like you mentioned, I know that ASRA and all these influential kind of organizations have retweeted a lot of your clips, and it's super innovative. So I guess what's next? What do you see going on in the future?
So with regard to the videos, the sonoanatomy videos, I made a website, melodyherman.com. It has 22 videos up there right now. There's 12 more in the works, and I'm trying to have that as a more complete resource for folks that are looking for, I want to look up such and such nerve block. You can just go to the website and get a little 15, 30-second snippet on what that block is and what innervation it covers. As far as TikTok, I'm still making some content. I've switched gears now, so I work inpatient now at Carolinas Medical Center. We're probably the busiest or one of the busiest trauma hospitals in North Carolina, level 1 trauma centers. I started in January. So we're buffing up our acute pain team to address, the pain needs of trauma patients, which often don't have their pain properly addressed early on, which unfortunately sets them up for chronic pain. So most of my time right now is devoted to that. But I still do plan to make, these sonoanatomy videos and also do TikToks from time to time.
That's awesome. Well, I'm glad that you're squeezing it in. I know that you have a lot of other, obligations and both academic and personal. So this is really awesome. Thank you again so much for taking the time also to chat with me today. We really are just honored to have you here.
Absolutely. Thank you for inviting me. I appreciate it.
Awesome. And thank you to all of our listeners for tuning in to another coffee chat. Be sure to check out Melody on TikTok, on Twitter, where her handle is anesthesiadocmd, or at melodyherman.com. Until next time.